Join us live on the Sherry Lord Talk Show podcast. Start your day off with a higher vibrational podcast with weekly guests covering spirituality, healthy foods, and so much more. Go to sherrylord.com for more info. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us every Tuesday on the Sherry Lord Show podcast. And we just want to let you know, if you want to be a guest on my show, go to www.sherrylord.com and email me, sherrylordpodcast@gmail.com, why you'd like to be on our show and what you do and what you offer. And we'd love to have you. And if you also want to sponsor or place an ad, go to www.sherrylord.com. All the information is there. We'd love to promote you. We'd love to get you out there. And if you like, you can also be a guest on our show. And we are so excited. We have Melissa Marcum, and she's been a regular on our show since I've started. And we just love having her on our show. She's amazing. And I like the evolution of where she takes things, and she's right on it. And she's going to talk about astrological transit and vibration, vitality. This is about that fire horse and that eclipse that's happening right now. I mean, everybody wants to know what's going on, and she's got the insight. So welcome, Melissa. We love to have you on our show. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Really appreciate it. It's a crazy year. Crazy good, but still kind of a little bit overwhelming.
It's been interesting. I can say that on my end. And I think a lot of people listening would say, what is this shift? What is this transition? What is happening here?
I mean, the biggest shift right now is we have a transit that just happened on Friday. So I'll explain what it is, and then I'll tell you kind of the general sense of what I'm talking about. It's Neptune and Saturn, both in Aries.
Okay.
At 0 degrees. So what that means is you have Saturn, which is all about structure. Think about the structures that we grew up with: government, corporate America, religious structures. That's very Saturn.
Okay.
And then we have Neptune. So the way Neptune works is Neptune typically stays in a sign for about 13 years. Well, it went from its home of Pisces now into Aries. So when it was in Pisces, it was very delusional.
Yeah.
Where people thought, wow, this is real. This is cool. This is, well, in Aries is a fire sign. It makes things, it's more like, no, that's BS. This is what it is. So with this transit, I feel like it's a global reset. I was looking on Google and really trying to look and find out when did we have this energy before? Because these two planets meet about every 36 years.
Wow.
So, and what a conjunction is, they're very close to each other. And at 0 degrees, they're close, like nobody's business. They're right there.
Right.
Next to each other. So there was nothing I can find concrete in our lifetime, and certainly, so I think it dated back to about 10,000 years. Now, what I did find the last time these two planets met was in 1989, and that was in Capricorn. It was 11 degrees Capricorn. So what happened in 1989 was the Berlin Wall came down. And also the internet started popping up. So it's like the way that I look at this, these energies, is something comes down and something comes up.
Okay.
And I feel now this is just not in America, but worldwide.
It's
I
global.
feel like globally structures are coming down. And this really kind of goes with the fact that in 2022, America had its first Pluto return. So Pluto is about death, destruction, and then transformation. And we're kind of seeing all these structures come down and realistic thought behind some of the lifetime things that we knew to be true. And that upsets a lot of people. I mean, I think
Okay.
that where people are like, is everything a lie? Or what's going on here? And everybody's at a different evolutionary level, right? You talk to some people and they're very fear-based. Other people are joyous. So I think that the best way to deal with all this is to sit in discernment, where you're not really a part of it because you don't know what people's soul contracts are, but you're still providing healing if they're open to it, or explanation, or
like
whatever
detach.
they feel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do with my clients when they say, hey, I'm feeling something's off here, you know, educate me astrologically. And then they're like, okay, I can see that. And here's how I feel about it, because not only is this going on from a global perspective, but what's going on in your chart? Where is Aries and Neptune in your chart? If Aries is on the ascendant, then you're feeling it like nobody's business. You're like, man, I need to reinvent myself. This is
Oh, wow.
intense for me. Whereas Saturn, if Saturn's in Aries, typically you're going through your Saturn return, which happens every 29 years. So your first Saturn return is you're finding structure. Either you get married, you have a new career, you're doing something like that. Second Saturn return is, I'm going through mine. It's a restructure of your previous structure. So all of these things are happening, and it's really, I think, up to, I always tell my clients, I'm just confirming what you already know about yourself. You're feeling it. You're just looking for structure into how all this works. So, yeah, it's intense.
This is intense for me. It's been wonderful. It's been clarity. It's illuminating truth. You know, things that wasn't so clear becomes more clear. I feel an excitement around the energy, but I really didn't understand what they meant by this eclipse that's happening and what the fire horse all meant, you know, and you're helping us understand that. So it's everybody's having their own experiences with it. You're right. You know, everybody's a little bit different where, you know, we are on our own path respectfully. And how can people handle this? I mean, what else do you want to share about this fire energy? How can we utilize this in our life, you know?
Well, with the fire energy is very, you know, it's year of the horse.
Right.
So it's a different type of astrology. It's Chinese astrology. It's very fast, you know, it's very fiery, which is definitely an Aries quality. And the horse moves fast, but the horse is stubborn. The horse can be stubborn. So it's really, again, how to relate it to yourself. What do you want to start? What do you want to release?
Okay.
What is something that is, you know, what are you hanging on to that you're not ready to release? Because this is everything in astrology, tarot, any of the kind of energy work people do.
Right.
Really about flowing with it and being self-actualized and looking at yourself very deeply.
Right.
You know? And most of us look at ourselves very one-dimensionally, where we don't want to face some truths because we've been taught to deflect pain. Pain is a bad thing. It shouldn't exist. And I would say that that's crazy, because I think it's the pain, going through the pain is where you are raw.
Right.
And you could either go back on the perpetual cogwheel or really step into full change. And
Yeah, there's a
so
lot of opportunities there for each individual. Rhonda, we have somebody here called Rhonda. She said, can you read what she had wrote? Can you see it on your end?
I can't see that on my end. No.
Okay, she just said, I just ran this through ChatGPT a few days ago, and with my natal birth chart, I find it fascinating. I'm trying to read everything here, but there's something in the way that on my end. I just keep coming up to, I want to understand more. Can you tell me something personally? So what do you need from Rhonda so you can give her a little bit of what's happening in her life right now?
I mean, she can always reach out to me for a personal reading. I do natal readings. I do a combination of natal,
Okay.
and the solar return. As far as, I mean, I could get back with her and look through her chart and kind of give her some tidbits or some information. If if she wants that, I can DM her some things and just kind of give her a little bit of, because people like to know too.
Little highlights. Yeah, she's being guided too.
Right. She might not be ready for a full reading, but just to kind of give her some things.
Some highlights.
A little bit of highlights. I have no problem doing that as well.
Wow. So what else do you want us to know about this fire horse? How's the best way to handle it? I know is there any tips? Is there anything anything else? Yeah.
I feel like you have to do what you feel. You have to listen to your body.
Yeah.
Everything is, I feel like intuitively, everything is inside of us, listening to our higher self. Where we get caught up is with the ego.
Right.
And when we discuss things, I mean, it's great to have conversations with people, but their experiences are not always your experiences. We each come in here with a specific soul contract. And I always tell, I have a 24 and a almost 27-year-old, and I'm like, what do you feel? Intuitively, what do you feel? Because we have to step into our power and listen to our higher self. If we don't, we're just going to be on that perpetual cogwheel.
Right.
And there's areas in the chart that show that. We come in with one energy, and the whole key is to get to the opposite energy, to overcome the wounds, to understand, again, self-actualization, to really understand who we are and what we came here to do. And
you're right. Yeah.
Once we understand that, I'm not saying the journey is easy, but at least we have the blueprint. And then, we make the necessary changes. And it's inevitable. I feel like we're going to learn until we pass on this planet. This is, I always make a joke to my clients. I'm like, if you can make, Earth is like, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, because we're given no information. We come in, we have to figure all these things out. We have issues maybe automatically with family, with relationships, with jobs, with all of that we need to work out. There's always some area to work out. So how do we do it? And I know for me, astrology has been a godsend sent to me, for me.
Right.
Because I look at the chart in a realistic way of how to solve problems.
Right.
Because I understand my soul and what it came here to work on. So.
Yeah, I do think you're right. And then we talked about this before we came on the show. It's really important you trust your own gut, your own intuition, and your higher knowing, and I think your higher self and your own inner voice. And the more you trust there, everything is a lot easier. It really is,
It is.
Not saying that we don't have experiences, but it's easier.
It's also, a lot of people say to me, and I'm sure to other readers too, wow, you have a gift. I want to say that you have to work this. This is not something I would say most people, spiritual people, they work very hard. It's not something that, I mean, I'm sure, I can't say everybody. I'm sure that there's people who have very unique gifts from an early age. But mine is, I'm in the chart all the time. You know, I'm talking to my higher self all the time. This is energy that you're working on a regular basis. So it's like anything else. It's like working a job. If you put the necessary work into it, understand the goals, you know, understand what you have to change, typically you're successful. It's the same thing with, you know, being a spiritual teacher.
Right.
Understanding and then being able to hold that space for somebody else at the time that you need to, but also let that go because it's their journey.
Yes.
Their journey. And they're going to do what they're going to do at the time that they need to. So
is there anything else you want us to understand about the transit that we're in right now?
I would say the biggest thing with this reset is to, again, I feel like and it's going to depend on where, you know, where this is on your chart. But again, it's really doing what you feel. Make the necessary changes of where you feel. Yeah. Because I feel intuitively, we all know that. If there's, you know, if you want to pursue a whole new career, then do it. Make the steps to do it. If you're not happy in your relationship and you know it's not something that's going to last for long, get out of it. Right. But do the necessary steps that you can. In other words, take the blinders off and be real. Be real with yourself. You know,
very good advice. Yeah.
See what's there. And I feel with Saturn and Neptune both being in Aries, there's no delusions anymore. Right. This is about you and the changes that you need to make right now. You can't put it off till tomorrow. You can't put it off until next year.
It's now. The energy of this I'm feeling is now. There's no hold. You're not in a hold. You just have to choose now and take those steps. Totally.
I would say this though. I know tomorrow we're going into Mercury retrograde.
Oh yeah.
You know, so let's talk about that just for a few minutes. It's so it's in Pisces.
Okay.
So Mercury, the way Mercury is it's your mind, communication. You know, a sign can mean many different things. A house can mean many different things. But in Pisces, it's about emotion. Pisces is a water sign. So I feel like emotion can override logic when it's, you know, so I would say, I always tell my clients during a Mercury retrograde, don't make any decisions. You know, now if you're working on a project and you've worked on it for the last couple of months, last week, go ahead and continue to do that. But don't start anything new during a retrograde, and especially this one, because this is going to be a lot of emotion. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, so there could be a lot of delusion. In other words, you can think something's there that's not there. And just kind of take a pause, kind of revisit, look at it again. Don't do anything that's going to create anything that you regret, because after the retrograde's over, retrogrades typically last about 3 weeks, March 20th. Everything might look very different then. And take your time. Take your time. Traveling, electronics, all of that could be out of whack. Instead of if you're taking a trip, instead of being at the airport for an hour before, be there 2 hours before.
Yeah.
Which right now, I think that we have like a partial shutdown, and I think you can't do pre-check at TSA.
Okay.
So take some precaution for all this. So yeah, I would say that would be my advice, especially for this one Pisces.
That's good advice. I mean, a combination of a lot of things. I like how you said just be caution. Take your time, get your clarity before you make any decision. That's really good advice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem too with the retrogrades. The communication's always fuzzy. And especially too, I would say for people, let's just say if somebody's trying to meet somebody and they're in a dating situation, I know it's hard to put maybe a date off for 3 weeks or something, but just take it slow and getting to, if you already made some plans with somebody, just take it slow, because again, you might not be hearing correctly what they say.
Right.
Time can play tricks on you. And this is Neptune's like that. Neptune's a lot of delusion. I mean, look at like I said, Neptune was in Pisces for the last 14 years. 14 years. So there's a lot of delusion. And now it being in Aries, it's a very different type of energy.
Coming with clarity and truth, illuminating that. Yeah.
Well, it's looking, I mean, it's looking at things and that's what Saturn makes things realistic. Saturn,
right.
So when it's at the same conjunction, at the same degree as Neptune, it's going to empower that Neptune to say, okay, what is the truth in this? And these are very opposite signs. Neptune is also about spiritual surrender. It's like, doesn't need structure. It's like, I'm surrendering all of this. So, it's almost the opposites kind of getting together and having the energy kind of mesh. So we're looking at things from, again, we are in a global reset. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that you could ask that could say, hey, I don't agree with that. It's happening. So yeah, I think this is a very pivotal year. A lot of things are changing. We had Uranus and Gemini coming in June. So Uranus is the awakener. It is the awakener. A lot of times when I look historically, when Uranus is in Gemini, because Gemini is about communication.
Yes.
It could be wartime energy. I mean, it could be, I could look historically and say, wow, during, the Civil War, the American Revolution, World War II, Uranus was in Gemini, because, it's speaking, and it's speaking on a very global stage. So that could create conflict. It's not a guarantee. These are all possibilities. People ask me about astrology. Well, can you tell me? No, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just telling you about energies and possibilities based on planetary alignments, where they sit. And this energy is a possibility that could happen. But I want to say to humans, there's always free will. We have free will to change the energy too. I mean, that's
true.
I mean, whatever collectively, I feel like we're moving into a collective pattern. We have, so the nodes they change every 18 months. They're elliptical points in the sky. You're coming from the south energy. You're trying to move to the north. In your chart, they're there for the duration of your chart. They don't change, but in the sky they change. Well, we're going from Leo to Aquarius, and I feel like now it's all about collectivism.
Yes.
It's all about how we feel as a species, how we feel as an American, how we feel as a European, how we feel as, how do we feel about everything together? It's not just about the me, myself, and I show anymore. It's like how do we put this planet in positive activism, which sounds like kind of like an oxymoron, positive activism, but I think we can. I think it's not necessarily about war and division, but how do we collectively work together and meditate together and, energetically put ourselves in a positive experience rather than all this negativity.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the questions I feel like that we're facing as humans, as Americans, as whatever, or, but it's not about that. I feel like it's collectivism around in the planet.
Yeah.
So collectivism. And I just wanted to say, I started a program that it's very near and dear to me, and I'm still in the process of launching, and called Vibrational Vitality, and it's really about healing, because I feel that you want to do the work if you're healthy. So what I did was I created a bio-astro chart. So I'm going to know your health on a daily, psychologically, and ancestral basis, because that's all part of us being healthy. I mean, the number one killer in this country, and I think in probably any country, is stress, right? So stress does horrible things to the body. And so in my research, I started to be a reseller for various companies. And first I created a supplementation stack to really help the body. And then I started to really get into the gut biome, because I figured that the gut biome was almost like the DNA of somebody. Everybody's gut is different. What might be healthy for you, asparagus could be really healthy for you, might not work for me. So I started to look at my health in this perspective, and I started to lay down the foundation first through my astrological blueprint, which is the bio-astro chart. And then, okay, I understand that these are possibilities. For example, I have my moon sign in Cancer. Well, Cancer is about the stomach.
Okay.
So when I get really stressed, my stomach hurts. I can't hold food down. I start getting, it's really about my gut. And I've had this problem all my life. So what can I do for my gut? Well, I can take the proper supplementation, especially, that is made specially for my gut issues. And then I know from an energetic standpoint what I have to do, because according to my chart, this is where I'm going to get to my highest vibration. So I want to roll this out. And I want it to be a program. It's a 90-day program, just to get people, that want to really focus on their health and be healthy, because everybody's going to die, but I want to die healthy. So I'm in the middle of kind of putting this all together, and I feel like it's really going to help a lot of people that are really interested in wanting to really get to the root cause analysis of their health issue.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and people are shifting and looking to be more healthy. They're even making changes everywhere. Even the government's making changes on health, and it's becoming a priority now more. Not that it hasn't been, but at a greater level. To really, your health is so important throughout your life, and that people want to be healthy, but we've been lied to, and people don't know.
I think it's just going. I think the way that healthcare has been done traditionally is it's this homogenization of health, right? Everybody's going to feel this way or that way. So let's just chase the symptoms.
Right.
Let's just chase the symptoms. When things get really bad, then it turns into, like, for example, with my issues, IBS or some kind of other gut issues. But what's causing that?
Right. To get to the cause.
Get to the root cause and analysis of it. Like, where did that come from? Was this something ancestral? Was this something psychological? Or was this something daily that I'm daily doing? Or is it all three? How does this all work? So because all facets of that are the reason why people are sick. One of those or all of them. I believe all of them, because I believe that, you see people who are very healthy, they could die at a young age. Now, that could be soulfully too. That they're here for a certain amount of time to accomplish this. So it's quite fascinating, and I feel like people need this more than ever, especially with all these changes, with this global reset, with everything that's going on right now. You want to be the healthiest that you could be. You want to be at the highest vibration that you could be, because there's so much energies coming at you that are so negative. And if you're healthy and strong and stand in your own power, nothing, I don't believe anything can take you down. I think that if you're meant to go, then that's, then you're here for this time. But while you're here, you could be healthy and, again, stand in your power. So
that's very good information. Very good information. How can people get a hold of you, Melissa? How can they get a hold of you?
They can go on my site, vibvital.com. I have one site that's, and I'm in the process of kind of merging these two together, because I just came out with vibrational vitality in the last 6 months, kind of testing it, getting it together. But I also do personal readings and at mmastrovives.com. And you can look at it like if you just want a natal reading, and what I do is a natal and solar return chart combo. So I'm going to tell you, your soul purpose, and also I'm going to tell you what's going on this year.
Oh, that's exciting. I hope everybody's listening and that they get with Melissa. It be a reading, a chart done, or get to the core of your health. I think that is so important, is the core, fixing it from where it began, what started it, but I like that and your approach to it. So make sure you get a hold of Melissa, and if you kind of missed it, you can also go to my website. We have her there. We have all her information. You can click on the link to her website. Her phone number is there. So make sure you go to www.sherrylord.com. If you kind of missed the information, just go there. All of it's there with her picture and all her information. So we just bless you, Melissa. We love having you on our show. And thank you for the wealth and all the wonderful good work you were doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you, Sherry.
And we bless and thank all our people who are watching us and who follow us every week, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. We'll see you next week. Check out our guest weekly. Thank you, Melissa. We'll have you back on. We love having you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
International psychic medium and podcast host Sherry Lord. She is one of the most sought after psychic mediums. Book your special readings. Go to www.sherrylord.com.